Hello guys and good morning. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have part 2 of the PLL series for you. We dive into the Melee DPS changes as far as role changes in each of the jobs. So let's do it. Starting with the role action adjustments to the Melee DPS roles. Feint, which will now have a stronger physical mitigation, this being increased from Shadowbringers to Endwalker. It will also have the added effect of reducing magical damage, albeit to a lesser degree than its physical mitigation. Following the same change made to tanks, Melee DPS will no longer have their combos broken by their range attacks, which will now can be integrated in your rotation for those smooth transitions from melee to range. Lastly, we have physical damage being equalized with your magic damage for your weapon skills. Subsequent potencies of each one of those abilities and skills will be adjusted for the number crunch and the Endwalker. It's important to note here that despite the numbers displaying being lower than what we're used to, the team assures us that the damage being done is the same percentage. Now on to the actual jobs, and we will start with the Dragoon. Its AoE rotation will be expanded, making it a versatile job to take on dungeons. As of Endwalker, possessing extra tools to deal with groups of enemies instead of primarily being focused on a single target. Hopefully, will give those main crown controllers a run for their money. The new action will be added after the completion of your weapon skill rotation. This is no surprise, as higher level cap will mean new skills and new combos. The abilities and skills of the Dragoon will be upgraded much in the fashion of jump that was upgraded to high jump. It gives you higher forms of the same abilities, but with potencies adjusted to level cap, avoiding adding many more buttons to your hotbar and keeping your job clean going through Endwalker. Blood of the Dragon has been removed as an action, and it will now be a trait, making it always active, removing the need to maintain it as the fight goes on. Now, all of your actions that can be performed under Blood of the Dragon will be available at all times. Spine Shatter Dive will now have an additional charge added, giving you the ability, if you so choose, to use it in quick succession. Lance Charge will now have its cooldown changed to 60 seconds, and Battle Litany will now underbe a 120 second cooldown. And the Monk is up next. Grease Lightning as a stacking mechanic will be removed from the job. This will no longer be a thing. On the flip side, chakras will be unlocked earlier than normal. A new system called Masterful Blitz will be added to the month. So first up, you charge your chakras. In this case, 3 different types of chakras are charged. When you reach that point, you can now release your first Masterful Blitz and gain Yang. Now, combining 3 chakras of the same type and unleashing their Masterful Blitz will give you the Yin. With these 2 elements charged and ready, you are finally ready to execute your most powerful form of Masterful Blitz. It only requires you to charge your chakras one more time before unleashing your highest damaging move. Shoulder Tackle will be removed, and in its place a new ability will be added as a gap closer. This one will not be an attack as it's usual with melee jobs, something more similar to the Black Mage Ethereal Manipulation, and it allows you to target another party member and a gap close to them. This will combine the characteristics of a dancer as well, as your character will rush and not teleport. This ability will have 3 charges, and you will be able to perform this ability 3 times in a row. The overall style of the Monk has not changed. Still fast-paced, and with the addition of Masterful Blitz mechanics, will be a super busy job. A lot to do and to manage here, and to accommodate that, True Strike and Twin Snakes no longer will be position dependent. Their damage will not vary regardless of your relative position to the boss. On the Samurai now, the Jinpu and Chifu effects can now be used by your AoE combos. This was exclusive to single target before, but as of Endwalker, this will no longer be the case, making the Samurai flexible in its style, no longer being just a single target DPS, but now extending its full capability to AoE damage as well. a new action will be added to the samurai, and it will be very much in the lines of Yajutsu and Tsubami Gaeshi. Samurai is a pure melee DPS, so the focus of the team going into Endwalker was not to change the job very much, rather giving him tools to improve his effectiveness in combat. And in that regard, changes were made to Tsubami Gaeshi and Mekiyo Shisui. You are now able to stack with 2 charges. This will increase your burst damage even further, allowing you to go into that 3rd stage of your rotation and the Mekiyo Shisui's 2nd stack, making that phase still have a bit of a burst left, spending the samurai already very powerful rotation going even farther in the pure DPS style. Now let's take a look at the changes made to the ninja. New actions that stem from Raiton, Duton, and Huton will be added. The example being right after Bushi, you will see a new action taking place. Bushing being your level 80 and final skill for Shadowbringer expansions. Also, the condition in which you apply Huton will be changed and adjusted to make it easy to apply and keep the effect. The point here was to keep the complexity of the ninjutsu the same as to not add further complications in combat. Shadow Fang was removed from the job altogether, so ninja will no longer have a dot. Now, for the long-awaited, the new melee DPS job is the Reaper. The combat style of this job will involve using a sight and attacking in combination with your avatar. The ultimate objective to this job will be to build and unleash your most powerful form, the Reaper. This job will not be a pure DPS like the Samurai, as it possesses one single party buff in its toolkit. As far as your HUD, you will have 2 bars. The red one, or top one, is called your soul gauge. This will be charged every time you use your weapon. As that charge builds, you will be able to use weapon skills that involve your avatar. Your avatar attacks will deplete your soul gauge, but on the flip side, will charge your shroud gauge. Take note that only attacks that involve your avatar will charge the shroud gauge, which is the blue or bottom bar gauge. Once your shroud gauge reaches about half, you will be able to assume your most powerful form, where the avatar takes your body as a vessel and you become the Reaper, turning you into the Final Fantasy XIV version of an edgelord. There will be a gap closer using gate mechanics to move around. You will have an amount of time after jumping through the gate to come back. So if you need to be away from melee range fighting a boss, you can do that, wait for the mech to resolve, and use the gate to go back to your original position. The gate will have a timer, and so you will have limited by a time to go back. The weapon attack do not have any directional requirements, but your avatar attacks will have that. So be sure to be in a position that allows you to perform both kind of attacks with 0 DPS loss. The Reaper in the end is almost a pure DPS, much in the line of the Samurai. And this style is very dynamic and situational. So I would venture a guess that the skill ceiling to use this effectively will be high, as this style of gameplay is somewhat new as a whole to the roster of jobs. It remains to be seen how effective it can be and just how much flexibility it has. And that's it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, peace out.